think it's definitely humbling, and it's kind of like tipping the balance scales, right? And it kind of leads me to like my next question, and I'm happy you brought up your kids. Is like with all your historical stuff that has happened and your influences from your dad being an entrepreneur and getting married and going through the divorce and having, overcoming self-esteem issues, how do you currently like manage your work-life balance with your kids? Like what does that look like for you?
Oh my gosh. I didn't have that for a very long time. I mean, it wasn't until I hit burnout in January of 2021 where I had to physically put up some boundaries. Um, I actually my health started taking such a tumble that I was getting migraines 2 to 3 times a day.
Mm,
My hands and joints would swell, my stomach would swell. I was dealing with cortisol and gut issues, autoimmune issues. I was packing on weight right and left. Couldn't sleep. None of it, right? Like I couldn't even like get out of my chair. At one point, most of the time when I would sit there and look at my Fitbit sitting in my desk chair, my heart rate was over 100 to 110
wow.
sitting at my desk. Talk about your stress, right?
Yeah.
So I had a few doctors. I worked with about 5 or 6 doctors and like, yeah, you're 35 and you're really close to having a heart attack if you don't change something. And that was like a wake up call for me. So, what that looked like then in terms of protecting my work life balance and then for my kids has been I don't work past 4 p.m.
Mm,
ever. I do not open my computer on weekends. You are not allowed to call me after 4 p.m.
mm,
I'm not allowed to call you after 4 p.m. Like, I start work at 8 a.m., I end at 4. I have 2 walking breaks in the middle of the day to get up and move. Um, Quite frankly, I don't do a lot of face to face social interaction. I really covet my evenings and weekends with my kids and my family. I skip the happy hours. I sent a bunch of emails to people last May, I remember, and they're like, yeah, let's connect again. Let's connect. And you remember how we were all hitting like burnout on connecting after COVID? We're like, if I do one more networking call, right? Um, no, right. So I actually emailed them and I said, I got to be super candid with you. I appreciate you. I can't. I have to take a step back from actually what I'm putting in my day. And can I touch base in 6 months? The amount of grace and receptivity that people gave me was mind blowing. And I realized, wow, this is actually super important. So I only, instead of taking like 5 networking calls a day, I only do them in the morning or the afternoon. I only take client calls certain times a day. And I do it based on when my energy is at its max.
mm.
So
Yeah.
that's for me been the recipe that's worked.